Hiya, I hope you're okay. Today I'm going to talk you through some moisturiser suggestions, in particular for a red or rosacea prone skin in mind. As always, everything I've used is going to be listed in the description, so if you click to make the video full screen, the title will come up along the top. Click the arrow next to it and a full list of everything I've used will drop down. Now, this is the second in a three-part series I'm doing this week, all about redness and rosacea suggestions, and lots of the brands featured have given me codes, so if you do want to treat yourself to anything, you're going to be able to get them at a lesser price. I just want to reiterate, I haven't been paid to do any of the codes, there's no commission off any of the codes. I just thought it'd be helpful, in particular because it's Rosacea Awareness Month, if there were things that you wanted to try for the first time. Just to remind you, I'm not a medical professional, so the best thing to do to get really accurate medical advice would be to see a GP one-on-one for your skin. But at the same time, these are things that I've used that have worked well for me, that other people have said work well for them, so I thought I would share. Now, anything I'm going to recommend, I really think is going to be great. So I want you to think about texture when you're trying to narrow down which one is right for you. Texture, budget, your skin type, and that might help you to choose which one is going to be right. But I'm going to start with what I think, even if you are completely sensitive or sensitized, isn't going to cause any further irritation. There will be no surprises, I'm sure, that I'm going to go in with Roche Posay. Now, one of the things I love about Roche Posay for moisturisers is that they have lots of solutions for sensitive, sensitized, red skin, but in lots of different textures. So if you're maybe a bit more oily and you want something really lightweight, you're going to love the sensitive fluid because it is so thin, it hydrates, but it doesn't feel like anything on the skin. Whereas on the other end of the spectrum, if you're so dry, tight, irritated, you might like something as rich as the Cicaplast. So the nice thing with La Roche-Posay is that there are loads of different options in various textures for your skin type that aren't going to irritate you in any way. Another brand I would just bring to your attention is Avene. Again, they are very, very gentle, but also effective, going to hydrate your skin, going to work well. And again, lots of different textures to be had. This is actually the Tolerance Masque. I've only recently got this one and started to use it, but this is a lovely option for you if you want a treat for every so often to just inject a bit more moisture to the skin. So categorically cannot go wrong. They would be my picks. But now moving forward, I want to show you a few really intelligent solutions, in particular for red and sensitive skin. Okay, now I'm going to go through a couple of options from SkinCeuticals, which is definitely a step up in price. And I just want to kind of go into a few reasons why I really did want to recommend this brand, and I appreciate that it's an investment, but they do things completely differently because everything is developed by a cosmetic doctor with use in a medical kind of clinic environment in mind. And wherever they retail, it's with a medical professional for you to get correct advice. So, for example, they test their products on human skin, and then it's not a case of, 70% said they felt nicer. They literally take a biopsy from the skin, test it in a lab, and any claims that they make are clinically proven. So it's a really different way of doing things, and as such, some of their solutions for redness and rosacea are brilliant. Now, one of them, the Phyto Corrective Masque, when I actually spoke, I caught up with Charlotte from SkinCeuticals this week. I mentioned her yesterday. I'm going to put her profile in the comments here. She's brilliant, so knowledgeable. When she actually told me the claims for this mask, I couldn't believe it. It's one of those things that, to be honest with you, I've been using, I see a great difference from. I didn't think too much of it. I knew I wanted to recommend it. But when you actually hear what it does, it's quite surprising. So this mask is great in general in a red or rosacea prone routine, but in particular, if you've had a flare up, maybe you worked out, had a shower, you've eaten something, whatever it might be, this is clinically proven to reduce the temperature of your skin by 5 degrees Fahrenheit in 10 minutes. You can leave it on for longer. It's not going to make any difference if you leave it on for longer, but in that 10 minutes, you're going to see the results that you want from this mask. So it's proven to reduce the temperature of your skin, but it's also proven to reduce the appearance of redness in your skin by 20% after 10 minutes, and also to reduce any discomfort by 47%. So for this, what I would say is, this is something to have in the bathroom. At the end of the day, I think I've said this a lot about rosacea in the past, you can do everything right, but you're always going to have those moments where it flares up. Really fantastic choice if you need that emergency remedy. Okay, I think for the rest of the moisturisers, I'm going to talk you through different consistencies and thicknesses. So first of all, I would say a hydrating mist is a really great step to layer moisture in as you go along. I know that's not necessarily a moisturiser, but for example, the La Roche Posay Toleriane mist, I know that Jeanette from La Roche Posay always says this is like a moisturiser in a bottle. You might want to get this on through the day over your makeup. You might want to apply it kind of straight after a shower to lock in that moisture. Really brilliant choice. And also the Pixi, I said Milky a minute ago and I had to start this clip again and now I've just said it. Pixi Milky Hydrating Mist. The Pixi Milky collection in general is a really lovely fail-safe kind of collection. You've got the likes of hyaluronic acid and oat in here that are going to be really great to retain moisture and feel nice and gentle. But Pixi in general, I really think, given the results that you will get from anything from Pixi, they're priced so well, considering the, impact that they wield. And actually, I was speaking to a dermatologist the other day about if you have redness or rosacea and you want to introduce retinol, and her recommendation was the Pixi retinol range. So really good to keep in mind. But also, I think that lighter consistency things in a rosacea routine can be really good because a lot of people tell me that their makeup won't last. If your makeup is showing through or going patchy or it's not sticking to the red areas, I really think a lot of the prep and remedy to that is to start with something really hydrating. But if you go for something in a thin consistency, you're not going to have loads of layers on that feel hot or uncomfortable. So that in mind, the Murad nutrient charged water gel is one of my favourite things that they do. Now, full disclosure, a lot of the Murad things might have some actives in there, so you might want to just hop on the live chat and have a double check that it's going to work for you. This is one of my favourite densely moisturising gels, and your makeup sits beautifully on top of it because even though it's very hydrating, it sinks in very quickly. In the same kind of vein, you might like the likes of the Confidence in a Gel lotion from It Cosmetics. It's oil-free, fragrance-free, a very simple, lightweight, hydrating option. And then actually, very similar to that, which brings me on to Kiehl's, I just wanted to flag that Kiehl's is another brand that has lots of different consistencies and textures that will suit what you want, that aren't going to flare you up. So like they have the Ultrafacial Oil-Free Gel Cream, which is a light hydrating gel. It's going to be perfect if you've got more of an oily skin type. Whereas you might like to step up to the Kiehl's Ultra Facial Cream, suitable I would say for most skin types, are just gentle, simple, does what it says on the tin, lovely moisturiser. I haven't been using this next one as much in the summer, but during the winter you cannot get enough of the Centella Sensitive Cream because one of the things I think it's really good for, it's a very dense, rich moisturiser. This is in the same family as the cleanser I showed you yesterday. This is great for if you're going for a big long walk and it's freezing and you want to really protect your skin from any harsh elements or anything like that. I would put that on, go for my walk, and even if it was really, really cold, because obviously extreme temperatures can wreak havoc on a red or sensitive skin, just keeps everything at bay. Now, a few more things I want to show you. I'm having a look to see where the rest of them are. I've still got a few minutes. I'm keeping an eye on the time. CeraVe Facial Moisturising Lotion. Budget or otherwise, that is one of the best moisturisers that you will find for a red or rosacea prone skin. There are lots of different hydrating options at CeraVe. The facial moisturising lotion is my particular favourite because it's slightly lighter in consistency, but this is packed with ingredients like hyaluronic acid and like ceramides that are going to really repair the skin barrier. A couple of years ago, I went to New York. It was like a last minute thing. I was on the plane, I was in New York. It started snowing, absolutely loving it. I was doing some videos with It Cosmetics, taking my makeup on and off loads. My skin was flaking. I've never known anything like it. Previously to that, we'd had a load of QVC shows and it had just been days of essentially my skin taking a battering. I used that for a few days when I got home, problem solved. If you're very dry, you'll love that. Speaking of very dry, if you are incredibly dry and you like to use really rich, almost like, you know, the CeraVe, the things like that are incredibly densely moisturising, I just wanted to show you the Kate Simmerville Dry Skin Saver. This is it feels as hydrating as those things, but it's not as heavy. It doesn't, you know how sometimes when you use those things, you've still got a bit of residue on the skin. This will absorb, densely hydrating, really good all over the body, this one. I wouldn't just use it on your face. It's probably very rich for your face, but use that wherever you are dry. In terms of Kate Somerville, I'm trying to remember, I've only got 2 left. I'm hoping I'm going to have enough time. The Kate Somerville DeliKate range. I showed you the cleanser to this yesterday. I'm going to show you the serum, which is here tomorrow. This range is so simple, effective, gentle, fragrance-free, buttery. You get this lovely skin finish, perfect for under your makeup or on its own. Kate designed this range to bring sensitive or sensitized, irritated skin back to balance. It's a beautiful, buttery texture. If you like those super simple redness and rosacea remedies that are almost like very bland, very, very plain, but you still want the luxury of a nice buttery cream, you'll love this one. I've gone through several of those. I really, really rate it. And then another one, it's a new one that I think you will really like. You've probably seen me mention it before, is the Murad Intensive Recovery Cream. This was designed for a really red, stressed, irritated skin. It's a beautiful buttery cream. Again, it's really lovely and hydrating. You can use it twice a day. It sits beautifully under your makeup or on its own. Now, one of the things I will say about this, one of the things I love actually, is that you can take it right the way around the eye area. You can use it all over. This has a few essential oils in it. So if you're cautious on essential oils, I'd tell you to just have a little look at the website. But to be honest with you, when this first came, it has a very light kind of minty scent from the spearmint in the formula. And I remember thinking, I'm not going to be able to use this. It's too scented. It's worked so well for me, and I caught up with Tracy from Murad, lovely, lovely lady, really worth having a look at her videos as well. And she just explained that there are a few essential oils in there, but really they're all designed to calm the skin. So I know for a lot of us with redness, it can be something that you'd be panicking about, but she's actually got rosacea herself and she explained the whole thing. But I've worked really well with that one. Really rate it if you want a very densely hydrating moisturiser and you want to see results really quickly. I'm running out of time. That's a nice moisturiser lineup. As always, let me know if you've got any questions in the comments. And if you have a little look at the description, click the arrow next to it, everything will drop down in a list. And by all means, there are probably loads of other things I've recommended in the past in previous videos. If none of those sound quite right, there's lots more for you to explore. But I hope you enjoyed, and I'll be back tomorrow with the final instalment of SPFs and active ingredients. Have a lovely evening.